But if we're going together, if you're going to go fast, you can go alone. But if you're going to go far, you're going
together.
to go with some other people.
Together.
And that's it.
Wow, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So before we go on break, I want you to just tell us a little about the book that you've written. Okay. I know it's not in circulation yet, but give us a hint so that we can be on the lookout.
Okay. Like I said, God will not do things without purpose. During pandemic for me, there's a lot. And one of the things that I went through, I did 2 different courses that I didn't even know I would have the funds because the money was not coming in. Projects were grounded and all that. I was able to do those courses. And one of the things God put in my mind was, there's this book you've been writing. Why can't you put it together at this point? And that was the time I could sit down. We couldn't do so much.
Of course.
You're not going
lockdown.
out.
Yeah.
Lockdown. So after eating, and a lot I was able to do with the kids.
Yeah.
During that time, we did vision board party in the house. We did cake don't forget their boys.
Yes.
We did baking competition. We did a lot. My children don't know how to play suwe. All those games we did in primary school, they don't know how to do suwe. I taught them how to. And one of those times, during those times, one of the things I was able to do was put the book together, and it's going to be ready for publication as soon as possible. But the book is actually the principle of strategy of managing your home. How do you manage your home strategically? And some of the things I've been speaking on was actually from that book.
Wow, that's amazing. So we look forward to having it, and please let us know when it is ready. So we've been discussing managing your home, and our guest, Olushola Anibaba Adewolu, has been helping us. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll go into further aspects of this discussion. Stay with us. I hope you've been enjoying yourself, and this episode we have been discussing managing the home. Now, Madam Adewolu, I beg your pardon. Let's talk about maintaining the house. Let's look at cluster control. When you go into many homes, they are hoarders. They just hoard things they don't need. They just give, maybe I'll need it someday. They hoard. Before you know it, 3 years, they're still hoarding. 5 years, they're still hoarding. You talk about clothes, talk about kitchen equipment that would have served other people better. So how do you maintain the house in view of cluster control?
That's a whole lot.
Because I see that you also teach cluster control and home organizing.
That's a whole lot for me. And I'm going to say this the way my people say it. The Yoruba will say, if you're not careful, you will keep things that you don't need, and you will keep them. Okay, I'm going to go into this shortly.
So just to be in perspective, can you just break down that proverb for us?
Okay. I'm not going to let this go. I will need it in some time. I will need this
sometime in the future.
In the future, I will need this. Before you know it, then it becomes so much. It becomes cluster. Then you invite rodents into the house. You can't control cockroach. You can't control. And with the rats now outside,
they are digital rats.
That is it. And see, the best thing you can have in design is simple. Make it simple. It's going to be easy. If it's 10 clothes you have, you will be able to see it. Yes. Have you noticed, even when we have so much, you go into the...
You don't know what to wear.
You will even not see what to wear. I'm a fan of Steve Harvey. I listened to him. He said, I think there is issue with women. You open their wardrobe, they have so much. And at the end of the day, if you're going out, they will say, I don't have what to wear. And that's it. If you know, I have 2 blue, I have 3. Have you noticed that men, when they are buying shoes, they have their neutral colors, and that's just it. It's with women, you need to have red. You have blue, yellow, that's red, green. That blue is not blue enough. Turquoise blue, tantalizing blue, sky blue,
royal blue,
royal, and that's it. I'm not saying it's not good. But see, sometimes when you leave it simple, it is very easy.
It goes a long way.
Decision making.
It's simple, easier.
You don't need to start thinking so much. And your effort to be together on something that is very useful for you. If you're a model, you can have those things. But if you're not, have you noticed sometimes some shoes are there, they're new. by the time you come back to them, maybe in another 4 months, the leather is already peeled, and they are costing you fortune when you're buying it.
Of course.
But you know, because you're not using them, I'm not saying you don't buy. Why are you going to be making use of them? If you don't need it now, you can give it out, and it is very easy.
But some people say, it's so expensive, I can't give it out.
But over time, like I was saying earlier, there was this auntie of mine that got married years back, and you know, those days they will give fridge, freezer, they will bring different things. So when they started their home, they have 3 freezers, they have 2 fridges. So they were taking it one. So the last freezer was Tamoko, and they opened it after 10 years. Everything inside has rusted.
Wow.
And that time, Tamoko was still Tamoko.
Wow.
What I'm talking about was 2000 and something. And the freezer was given to her, I think it was 99.
Wow.
And everything there, including the key, everything has rusted. What if she has given it out as at that time? Somebody will have blessed her,
benefited immensely. Benefited
and
immensely.
that's what sometimes all these clothes are tight, they are small. Are you dreaming of a day that you want to come down? Oh, okay, you are not giving birth again. The last born is like 10 years old or 15.
Miracles happen.
Well, but you know what? Another thing I've learned, they said, if you don't let go, you can't have something new.
That's right.
So even if we are given, okay, let's put it in our mother's time. Oh, they train us with nappy. And let's say miracle happen. And now they're not using nappies again.
Anymore.
So why can't you give it out when it will still be useful? And somebody will pray and you will have blessed somebody. So most of the things in the cluster, if you notice it, is not what we need at that time. Then give it out, so that when you give it out, the Lord you serve, when you need to have it again, it will bring something new. Your Bible will say, not only that. When you're giving it out, it's an old model you're going to give it out.
Oh, yeah. If you're getting now, a new one, it's a new model.
I remember something happened. Somebody was saying, when iPhone started, people were like, if you're not having an iPhone, it's like, if you don't have it now, you're going to have something better, a new model when you're going to have it.
A better version.
That's about cluster. Give it out. Bless people with it. And the door of heaven will be open over you and your household. So if you don't need it now, I mean now, then you give it out.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. So you're also telling us to stop accumulating things
that we don't need now.
That we don't need now.
Because if you say you need it, yes, you're praying for miracle baby. So you can have it in another 10 years. Don't forget some of those clothes, you can't even use it. Oh, let me go into another one. There's somebody I know, very close to the family, that bought, in the 70s, bought worker for the child. And that child they bought car for got married at 30s. And the grandfather of the new baby the son had now was so happy to say, the worker I bought for you, because I remember I bought this car when Kingsway was Kingsway. I went to bring it out. When they opened it, the thing has been crushed to pieces. And he said, I remember, and went to bring the receipt. It's of no value. And this same man did not allow other sibling of that
to use
it, because it's a special one for the first son. And at the end of the day, nobody.
Grandson?
Yes. First son.
Okay.
He wants to transfer it to the first grandson. And at the end of the day, nobody could use it.
It went to waste.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you say we should not accumulate things that we don't need now. But sometimes you come across sales, you come across promos that they tell you, oh, when you buy one, you get one free. Or they make it easy for you to acquire. You want to launch into that kind of opportunity. Even though you may not need it now, you know that maybe in the next couple of years, this thing can come in handy.
Thank you so much. But for everything, with our digital world now, there's a new version of that thing. So if you keep it for more than 3 months, you don't need it. You don't need it now. Or let's say 6 months. If you keep that same thing for more than 6 months, you don't need it
now.
That's it.
Wow.
Growing up, do we remember our parents? They have coolers, they have their abuaja
Yes.
These days, do we even have agbari juku in our house again? No. Do we have all those things? Because we give it, there are new versions of those things. Apart from that, there are new professions. Then we don't used to, it's the yawoles that will come and cook. Now we have the caterers. You don't even want to do anything in your house.
You don't want to get your fingers stained, your hands stained.
And some people are calling to that profession now. So if you buy everything, you want to still be doing it the old way. How do you want to help those people? So do we still have accumulate coolers now? For weddings now, they will even tell you no gift, no wrap gift. For birthdays, no wrap gift. Because they know some of those things still, thy kingdom come. Some they will not open it. Okay, there's a particular cousin of my husband that got married years after we got married. So I look at her, I said, instead of keeping all these set of dishes that people have given me for wedding, so I begin to bring them out. So when my husband's cousin was getting married, I gave her 2 sets. Do you know, after they have their firstborn, she came to us and said, you didn't know what you have done for my... When you gave us that for our wedding, we are still thinking of when we get married, after our wedding, we go and look for what to... And they were so happy. She would tell everybody. I saw the mother-in-law at a point. She said, you know, mommy, you know the award we are using in our house. This is my auntie that gave me, you know? And that's it. Instead of you keeping it. And to be honest with you, I think it was after like 10 years of our marriage, I changed our own set of dishes. I'm not saying everybody should be, but I'm just saying, sometimes those things, we don't really need them
I'm telling
now.
you. I'm telling you.
And look at the kind of plates we're using now. Bowl-like, boat-like,
yeah,
different shapes.
You know?
So do you still want to use those ones that our parents have, that they will have their hand printed on it and all that? So we don't need some of those things now.
Wow.
So if you don't need it now, there's no need for us to keep it.
Wow.
After 6 months, we are not using that thing.
Give
Please
it
give it
out.
out, man.
All right. So